Welcome Home by Michael Cortez. Copyright 2023 Michael Cortez. This story is from Truly Yours, A Song of the Cosmos. Distributed by Story Medicines. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and visit storymedicines.com. Enjoy.
Where am I?
Confused, yet not scared, she comfortably looked around at her new surroundings, finding nothing that looked familiar. She knew she wasn't home. Everything felt familiar. Everything felt like home, but nothing looked like home. She didn't feel any qualms, nor did she fret or panic or scream for help or cry. She was silent, observing her new environment. The space was triple black, concealing what may hide in the shadows, but she could see her body as if the sun shined on her. To her amazement, the triple black darkness supported her feet like solid ground. She wondered if she was hovering, or maybe her lifelong dream of flying became true. She thought quietly to herself in the darkness.
I must be dreaming, and this must be my dreamscape, and I could do whatever I wish here.
Only she remembered she had woken up from her slumber on this day. A luminescent, cerulean-colored staircase appeared before her feet, ascending to what appeared to be more nothingness. Before her eyes was a choice, maybe her only choice in this dark place, and she took it. On her first step, her parents came to mind and she watched the story of how they met. On her second step, she saw her mother birthing her with her father besides her mother. On her third step, her parents teach her how to walk and speak their language. On her fourth step, she's smiling at her family reunion, having a joyous time building upon familial love. On her fifth step, she wrote her own first word, universe, spelled Y-O universe, and her teacher told her it was spelled incorrectly. On her sixth step, she's nervous but joyfully playing at her first piano recital with her best friend, Marcus. On her seventh step, she reads a book called Best Friend by Michael Cortez and questions her perception of love and communication. On her eighth step, she vigorously grabs a pair of scissors, cuts off all of her hair and moves far away from home. On her ninth step, she returns home, looks into the sad eyes in her mirror, and tells her parents she loves them. On her final step, she inhales deeply, exhales as strongly, and knocks on the door before her.
Come in.
She opens the door to a living room and gasps at her sight. How could she be here? Eyes wide open and tears tightly coating them. She sees it's her Nana's living room.
How did I get here? Why is my Nana's living room at the top of some glowing staircase? And why does it look like the sun has gone out there? And who?
Her surprise took her completely aback. Questions poured from her mind into her mouth and spilled all over her Nana's living room. Her arms and shoulders tensely grasped her petite body as she couldn't stop herself from dumping questions until she was interrupted by the voice.
Shh, quiet girl. You're gonna think yourself to death. Sit down and let's talk like a good family does.
Her eyes looked like they were going to pop out of the sockets and roll on her Nana's Navajo print rug. Following her Nana's words, she timidly moved to the couch. It was the exact emerald green color as her Nana's. She nervously surveyed her Nana's house. The porcelain animals scattered around the living room were the same as her Nana's. Her granddad's large beige recliner sat next to the couch. Family pictures watched from the walls in mismatched colored frames. Her picture of her at her first piano recital with Marcus on the fireplace mount, the lavender drapes, carpets, the angel figurines, china case, and even her Nana's cat, Mr. Muse, were there. Her mind rattled with questions. Her chest froze from shock. She sat confused and scared, wondering why is she in her Nana's living room after entering a door from a strange place. Sounds of plates clanking against each other sang a ghostly rhythm in her ears. The song became louder, increasing her nervousness with every metronomic step the voice made. She tensely gripped the couch's armrest and bottom cushion, anticipating what she wanted for years but was scared to see again. The rhythm finally stopped, and the voice that came from the kitchen showed its figure. In the doorway, a woman shorter than her stood proudly, holding a silver tray with tea. and smiled from ear to ear at the young woman. The proud little woman was her Nana, who passed away when she was 20 years old. Immediately, she abandoned all fear, and tears rushed down her young face.
Nana!
She jumped from her seat, abandoning her previous discomfort, crying, tear-soaked, and feeling lovely rejoice as she hugged her Nana, who stood 5 inches shorter than her at 5 feet. The young woman hugged her Nana tightly, wanting to never let her go again.
Child, you gonna make me drop my tea. It's hot and it's ginger lemon. Calm down now.
Ginger lemon tea is her favorite tea. She couldn't get a grip of her excitement, love, rejoice, and sadness all at once. Her Nana sat the tea tray down and hugged her as she wept.
There. It's okay, baby. I've missed you too, but I never left. You know that. Nana's always been here, loving you and watching over you.
But it's been so many years without you. Life was so hard for us. You were the family's rock.
Everything happens for a reason, baby. It was my time to go. I didn't want to leave y'all, but it wasn't up to me. My body was put to final rest, but never Nana's soul.
She wiped her tears, and her Nana brought her a handkerchief to wipe her dripping nose. Her Nana continued holding her as she amply cried in the middle of her antiquitous living room, feeling remorse for having passed early in her granddaughter's life. After her granddaughter received her moment to grieve, they moved to her emerald green couch and caught up on what the young woman thought was lost time.
I cut off all my hair when you passed, and I moved to Ghana. I don't know why I chose Ghana, but it just felt right. Whenever I thought about moving, something kept saying, "Go to Ghana, go to Ghana."
That was me, baby,
said Nana, confusing the young woman.
Why Ghana? That was the other side of the world for me, and my parents begged me to stay because they were so worried.
Our ancestors on my side came from Ghana, and on your father's side, they're native to what they call Turtle Island, or now Central and North America. Now, we didn't know any of that, but when I passed, I got all of our family histories, baby girl, from every one of our ancestors we were connected to.
Her Nana proudly clapped and smiled after finishing her sentence. They sat as her Nana poured into her the collective history dating back to their first known ancestors. The young woman's eyes opened wide, hearing the magnificent trials of her family. She leaned in on suspenseful events, gasped when she heard they avoided death, cried when they suffered severe loss, and was delighted when they discovered who they were. Through her Nana's words, she witnessed the stars of her family's stories. These stories were unimaginable and unknown even by families who know their story 16 generations back. Her Nana concluded and circled back to why she came to this strange place.
And that's why I sent you to Ghana. Somebody had to go back and get it, and it had to be you.
She sat in awe of her family's story that words couldn't define.
Wow. My family would be so much better if they knew all these stories and shared their stories with each other.
She thought to herself as her Nana sipped her tea.
Dad would have known why his father couldn't fully break his alcohol addiction. Maybe he wouldn't have spent his life living so strictly. Mama would have known why her sister committed suicide. May my auntie rest in peace. Maybe Auntie would have healed if she would have accepted that she was never alone. She would have still been alive. She would have seen me grow up, and she and my mama would have fixed their problems. If only, I wonder what they would have done if they would have known what I know now.
Take your time.
Her Nana began laughing at her granddaughter's astonishment, bringing her attention back to their conversation. The young woman took a few more moments to let everything permeate her mind. Then, finally, she spoke.
But why me?
But why not you?
I have cousins who could have done it, or they could have done it with me. My mama and her brothers and sisters, anybody in our family. Why not them?
Not everyone was meant to be on the same journey as you. Their journeys were for them to do what they had to do. If they didn't live it how they lived, you wouldn't have been born and have lived how you lived.
That still doesn't tell me why I was chosen. It just tells a story of causation. One thing causing the next.
And that's exactly why it was meant for you. Silly girl, you were caused to be the one to do it. Their causes imprinted you with the curiosity and the willingness to do it.
It sounds like it wasn't my choice from the start, since their causes imprinted me with this duty.
Why let it burden you if it was natural in the first place? I swear you kids nowadays will let a bird's chirp hurt your feelings.
I suppose.
Uh-huh. What happened after Ghana?
She remembered returning home from her long trip and running into her parents' arms at LAX.
I ran into my parents' arms and told them how much I've missed them. I never felt so at home. It was like everything that happened before I left never happened.
You know why?
Her Nana asked, leaning in on her, softly smiling.
Yeah, I dealt with all my problems and came home happy. Doesn't everyone come home happy from a vacation?
Silly girl. Not just that. You brought our ancestors from the continent to our family in the States.
But how?
That country has a slick way of cutting folks' ancestral lines. Gotta give it to them. Those devils knew exactly what to do to anyone coming on that stolen land. But they learned the secrets of the secrets from the best of the best.
Her Nana smiled proudly and winked at her.
But look at what you did. You linked us back up and united we stand. Free at last. Not every family, especially black families, can say that.
So, just by going to Ghana, I reconnected our family?
You went to Ghana and became a part of Ghana. I saw you dancing, cooking, crying, connecting with folk, speaking Akan, Ewe, Ga, and becoming a part of the culture our family came from. You ain't just enjoy yourself there. You live there.
Her heart warmed as she thought of all her beautiful memories in Ghana.
I feel my heart warming too, baby. You did that, precious girl.
Her Nana joyfully laughed and she smiled from her Nana's joy.
We all thank you. It's been a long time since we were all connected, but we have to talk about why you're here with me.
If I'm here with you, I must be dead, aren't I?
She looked down at the carpet, clasping her fingers between each other.
Don't worry, baby. You're still very much alive. Your body is put to rest, but everything else lives on.
Like what?
That's not for me to answer. It's time for you to go talk to the one that has that answer.
Her Nana pointed to the staircase in her home, but her feet remained planted on the floor.
Don't worry. I'll be right here, and we can talk anytime you wish. Go on now. You got things to do.
She rose from the couch as tears dripped down her face. Seeing her Nana revived every heartfelt memory they spent together, and she cried more. The times her Nana watched her for her parents and she taught her how to crochet. The times they went to the movies together and snuck into other films after theirs finished. The times her Nana covered her when she snuck out to party with her friends. No matter what, she was there. She hugged her Nana, then let her go one more time and ascended the stairs.
I'll be back, Nana.
I know you will, baby. I'll be waiting for you.
Tears came down her Nana's face. Time doesn't exist in this realm, but it felt like hundreds of years since she last saw her beautiful granddaughter. She helped raise her and gave her baby everything she had and more. Seeing her was a breath of fresh air, although her young life ended too soon. It was her time. Her love for her granddaughter shadowed the word love in comparison, and here she is in the ancestral realm with her, loving her again. The spirits of a fated encounter meet in the afterlife, grandmother and granddaughter, reunited once more. The young woman stepped slowly up the stairs to meet the Most High, her hand gripping the staircase rail, feeling its smooth wood on her soft palm evoked childhood memories. The higher she got, the more her breathing changed from a relaxed rhythm of rejoice to nervousness once more. Looking behind her, she noticed with each step up, the step down disappeared into nothingness like when she first woke in this dark place. No choice but to continue up the stairs. She moved along. At the last step, A massive double door stood 12 feet tall before her, and she knocked. "Come in," said a manly baritone voice. She opened the door, finding a black sand beach underneath the moon, stars, and planets so close to the water you could almost grip them. "So, you're finally here. How was the journey?"
I can't even explain it.
"You want to know where I am, and who I am?"
Yes.
The voice changed to the voice of a woman.
I'm nowhere and everywhere. I am.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
My Nana told me you have the answer for my question. What lives on when you die?
What did you take with you here?
I'm not sure.
Consider your experience here. What have you seen?
My Nana, glowing stairs, her living room, nothing. My memories.
That's one thing you brought with you.
What? My memories?
Yes. Now, what else lives on without your physical being walking amongst the earth?
Memories. Memories people have of and with me. Things I left behind.
The voice became a manly baritone again. "Precisely. Your creations and story of how you lived lives on without you. But there's something you all have and take with you there. What is that?" She dug deeper into her mind. It took a few moments before she said anything.
My ancestors?
They're already here, or they've already reincarnated if they had to be.
My spiritual body?
You're so close, but I'm not going to say.
My dreams?
You have lived those.
My heart?
Almost there. Take another few moments to think. She took her time, searching deeply within herself. She thinks she found her answer.
My soul?
Your soul. The voice was smiling. You never lost your soul along the way. You could have lost your soul to your ego, your vices, your desires, people and other energies, socialization, temptations, dogmas, sadness, grief, anger, lust, greed, and various other traps. Yet you kept your soul in one piece. She stood frozen in her steps, recalling everything she didn't consider would take her soul, but she naturally avoided it.
When my teacher told me my version of the universe was spelled incorrectly, she tried to take a piece of my soul.
Yes, but she was ignorant to this knowledge. Someone stole her creativity at a young age and took a piece of her soul, in the same system you learned in. She died at 16, but she was buried at 82.
When my job tried to force us to take a P test, but we had no policy requiring it, and I refused to take the test. That was them trying to take a piece of my soul.
Yes. Entities trying to take your biological property or enforcing unwanted objects or substances into or onto your body are them trying to take a piece of your soul. Your choice is a test of you keeping your soul or selling it.
I never thought of it like that.
Most never do, even when their heart tells them not to do it. Your heart, your inner voice, will lead you home back to me. It's very rare souls keep themselves in a human experience. Most of them sell themselves piece by piece until there's nothing left of their authentic self. They accept and believe this fake version of themselves as who they are and live as such until they die. Then they transition and come to me empty. Not of worldly things like they should, but empty of pure divine essence. Soul.
What about those who return empty-handed? Do they get another chance on Earth? Do they get another soul?
Another chance is granted, but not another soul. You're gifted with one soul forever. Reincarnation is a process of retrieving every piece of your soul until you are whole again. Some retrieve their soul in one or a few lifetimes, which is very rare. Some require thousands of lifetimes. My most stubborn have required millions. There's always a chance for redemption for those who, in their hearts, truly want it. I saw on your journey that you didn't allow redemption to become a desire, for desires capture you before you have captured yourself, and that helped you get here. You captured yourself before anything else could and came back home.
She listened to everything the Most High had said, but her soul burned to know more about her family's story. She had to hear the answer from the Most High and not her nana.
Why didn't you tell my family what they needed to know so that they would have healed themselves and lived better lives?
They all had multiple opportunities to receive answers and heal, but sadly, they didn't believe healing and a better life was possible.
But why didn't you force them like you know you could do? They wouldn't have noticed the differences because you're the Most High.
She replied in a deeply saddened tone.
Free will was given to all of you. Free will to believe whatever you wish to believe. Free will in your mind to think for yourself and to act or not to act on your consciousness. Free will in your actions to create the life you wish to live and heal, like you did. Free will in everything you do. Your will is yours, and I promise I'd never interfere unless you truly needed me or asked for me. Every one of you were given signs to follow that would lead you back to me. Yet not every soul followed them home, and that was their choice to make.
But earlier my Nana told me my family's actions caused me to live how I live. How is that free will?
She's correct. Your free will was influenced by your environment, beliefs, desires, and those nearest to you. You saw what they were and didn't want to emulate all of them, but you never condemned them for their flaws. You saw what your home country does to its people, so you left in search of sovereignty. You desire to know the one truth that rules the universe, and that is us. We are one in the same. Lovely. If you didn't come from where you agreed to go, you wouldn't be here. Lovely stood on the black sands and looked at the celestials looking at her speak to the Most High from the night sky. Her tears were absorbed into the black sand, leaving shining white spots where they fell. Waving palm trees swayed in the wind to and fro on the warm, airy beach. Saddened that her family were given the answers but didn't listen, she wept not that they would remain on earth, but that they never healed. If only they would have listened. If only. Lovely wiped her tears and recollected her composure while looking into the beautiful night sky. She thought to herself, then spoke.
I see now. I'm here because I finished my work.
You finished your work, said the Most High, smiling from inside of Lovely's heart. The Most High combined its voices. Walk on the water. She heard the Most High, but her eyes bulged with surprise and confusion when she heard the Most High's command. You can walk on water. Just do it.
If I can walk on glowing stairs, I can walk on water.
She took a deep inhale and exhaled as deeply. Closing her eyes, she took a step and began walking on the water. The only thing you had to do in your human experience was live your purpose, listen to your inner voice, and keep your soul. Welcome home.